Hello, welcome everyone to SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of SCFA football Week 1 2017 triple header underway. We have COC and AVC. We also have ELAC hosting OCC on our other channel right now. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you tonight. It's the Cougars and the Marauders crossover game. And Joe, I don't think the Marauders have gotten over the hump ever since they implemented this format.
No, it's been quite a while since the Marauders have beaten COC. As a matter of fact, COC is 8-0 against the Marauders currently.
And this is a game that has a little bit of history here. I believe Coach Iacenda, I think he's undefeated versus Coach Perry Jalika.
He is, in fact, 8-0 against Perry Jalika.
Okay, so it's 8-0.
Yes.
All 8 of those victories going to Coach Iacenda. Coach Iacenda, head coach for the Cougars. Both teams very excited to play players in other colors.
Exactly.
At this point in the season, they put in the time, and we're about set to get underway here on the campus of Antelope Valley College. Earlier action today, we saw Ventura absolutely destroy Santa Barbara in an early game. Fullerton, the defending state champ, big winner over Santa Ana. I have some other score updates for you throughout the day. First triple header of SoCal College Sports' career here, Joe. So a lot going on. So not only on screen, but behind the scenes as well.
Well, it's good to have football back. We've been waiting for it to come back for quite some time. So.
We have a couple of pretty cool camera shots. We have the huddle end zone camera on the iPod. Of course, the main shot. It's a hazy night for football. There are some brush fires in the surrounding areas. I know there's one in Burbank, there's one up in the Central Valley. In fact, there is some chatter that the Bakersfield game might be canceled tonight. That one's slated for an 8 p.m. start time. So as soon as we know more, we will relay that information to you.
I'm actually, frankly, surprised that this game is actually coming off. There is some smoke in the air.
I certainly feel it. And we are about set. This quick return on the far side. Looks like Jamin Serrano. So that went to the up back.
It was a very short kick. I don't know if that was meant to be that, or if he just mishit the ball.
See if we can get it here on the replay here. It's a pretty good run.
That puts COC in a pretty good starting field position.
Yeah, I think they'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to bring out Andrew Brito and company. Brito, a state champion back in New Jersey, Paramus Catholic. That is the modern day of the East Coast. And right off the bat, maybe a little jitters there.
Well, it wasn't a bad snap, but he mishandled it, and that kind of threw the timing off for the entire play. He's got to catch that and throw it right away.
All right. So Brito back at it again, fires to the far side. This one complete. Deshaun Holmes.
Now that's the kind of timing he wanted on the first play, catch and throw.
Yeah, the book on Brito, very good zip on the ball, good deep ball. In the words of Coach Iacenda, the kid can flat spin it. And quick conversation here from the Zebras. Starting defensively for the Marauders, Julian Quito at defensive tackle. Marquise Allen, the nose guard. Jamies Zuber on the right end. Teran Rush, Robert Robinson, Noah Hopper rather. Matthew Malone, Tyrion Barnes, and Deron Ramsey, Keyshawn Young, and Cheyenne Bradford. We'll have some notes from my conversation earlier this week with Coach Perry Jaleka. 3rd and short here. 3rd and 3 exactly. Opening drive for the Cougars. And an opportunity here for the Marauders to get the defense off the field. Brito, hands off inside. This is going to be enough for a first and then some. Out past midfield.
Yeah, I think the Marauders are looking past. They ran past that play.
And they get gutted up the middle for a nice gain. Looked like that was Jalen Logan. So Logan picks up a first down, and it's a fresh set for the Cougars.
Jalen Logan is from Highland High School.
You have early movement here. This one looks like it's going to go against Carlton Lorenz. Or are they going to say that ABC drew him off? Well, initially it looked like the call was going to go against the Cougars, but I think one of the judges was overruled.
If the defensive lineman jumps into the neutral zone and causes the offensive lineman to move, that's the defense. I think that was the case.
So it's a 5-yard gift here on first down. And this is the type of spot on the field here, Joe, where you might see a deep pass.
Most definitely. It looks like COC wants to throw the ball primarily.
Some really good speed on the outside for COC. For Keelan White. We have some more issues. I think this is with the play clock here, Coach.
Yes, it is.
And here we go. Play action. Brito rolls out to his left, moves the pocket, has a man. This one complete and for a nice gain. This one to Jaron Pierce.
Very well executed play.
Yeah, very good job selling that.
Yes.
We'll see this on the replay.
You can see the linebackers hesitating. They bit on the face.
Yeah, he sucks in there, and that's a nice completion. Back to live action.
It's raining.
And it is absolutely pouring down here. Meanwhile, Brito rolls to his left. In the words of Coach Ayasenda, not a dual threat quarterback, but very nimble and good on his feet. I think the rain caught not only us off guard, but
it was
the referees as well.
Very sudden downpour.
It's like somebody popped a balloon. Now we got to worry about the equipment. So we're going to lose our field shot momentarily. No score, first quarter. And I think the rain is gone. No, slight drizzle now. 13:06 remaining here in the first. We'll get you some score updates from around the SCFA. Well, it's pretty unexpected.
Yes, it was.
You know, I thought about it earlier. I did smell some rain on the way up.
Did you? I've never seen that happen before. I mean, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, you heard the crowd react. I mean, they were stunned. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you on tonight's coverage. We will be here for 5 of all the home games this season for Antelope Valley. We will also be covering all of the home games for College of the Kings. This is kind of a gimme here for COC. COC, a mixed bag here so far in their first drive, but they are threatening here inside the 20. Brito in the shotgun. Good hard count from Brito, and that's something that the Cougars employed last year with very good success. Want to take advantage of the speedy edge rushers on the AVC side. Brito throws a man open. That's just perfect execution on second and short. That pass is complete to Deshaun Holmes. Again, that's his second catch on this drive.
The corner's giving him a lot of room over there, and I think if he does that, they'll throw that all day.
Yeah, I think. Well, what's the old adage, Coach? Take what the defense gives you. If they're going to give you that, that's going to be first downs for days.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be a chunk play, but I'll tell you what, as a coach, I think you'll take it.
Yes, definitely.
Chunk plays are luxuries. You'll take 8-yard gains every day of the week.
Yes.
And now we're first and goal here for the Cougars on the opening drive. Good job by Brito. Cuts it back to his left. He's going to get to the 5, and he'll be brought down there. Second and goal coming up. Little extracurricular here. R.B. Marlowe. When I say R.B. Marlowe, that's his name, not he's a running back named Marlowe. It looks like COC will bring in the heavy package. And is that Dorian Gerald? So Dorian Gerald, and that's going to be a player of note defensively for the Cougars, but right now he is playing.
Oh, he's part of their heavy package. Huh?
Part of their heavy package, and he is playing on the near side, split out wide.
Wow.
And they rush it up the middle, so a bit of a decoy there. And Joe, just like that, though, the rain is gone.
Sure is.
That's going to bring up third and goal. It's a very good job by the Marauders. Really stifling.
Yeah, they need to keep them out of the end zone on the opening drive.
Absolutely. R.B. Marlowe, Ethan Lazarick. Brito to his right, has a man in the back of the end zone, and there's some contact in the back.
I'm afraid so, yes.
And this is going to be an easy call for the referee. This is going to be first and goal at the 1. After the PI in the end zone. Now, is it at the 1 or at the 3-yard line here, Coach?
2.
Okay, it's at the 2.
Yeah. At the 1 in pro football.
Okay.
Just at the 2.
So I'm just a week ahead of myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Another game going on right now on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Orange Coast at ELAC. They're very excited about their season, as most schools are, but ELAC a very strong showing last year and looking to make some noise. In fact, coming in, the general consensus was they are a top-3 team in the American Conference.
I saw them play last year. They were a pretty good team. Played against AVC.
And they have only added to their ranks, and they will play AVC, and we will have that game later in the year. Heavy package in play yet again. Handoff, power look.
I think they stopped.
And AVC keeps him out, but just barely. Well, a good thing for College of the Canyons, they still have about 3 more cracks if they want. 2nd and 1 inch from the goal line.
That was KJ Latu carrying the ball. He's a local from Paraclete.
Listed as a linebacker. But he's got some pop. They're going to give it to him again. I think he got in this time.
No signal.
No. Wow, they wrap him up, and it looks like he maybe lost an inch or two. If anything, they're going to spot it back exactly where it just was. And I got to tell you, they're probably going to give up some points on this possession, but defensively, you have to really like the effort early on from the Marauders.
They did regroup. It started off a little bit shaky, but they have regrouped so far.
So 3rd and goal, and what a big win it would be for AVC to hold the Cougars to 3 here. No signal yet. The ball's on the deck, they're signaling. Well, did the ball break the plane? Fumble.
Ah, yes.
Okay, fumble's going to be recovered here
By Canyons.
Well, Coach Iasen in our conversation that we had earlier in the week said, you know, if I have the opportunity to be a bully, I will. And I think they're going to go for it.
And I think you're right. I don't see any kicking team substituting in.
And this is kind of a statement here, Joe. It's got to be an issue where, you know, if we can't get in, we don't deserve to win this game.
Exactly.
And you also have to like your defense here. And on the second effort, they are going to get in. That's a great job.
He is in, yes.
Was that Junpei Wabashi? We'll get a number here shortly. Well, 6 on the board, but they have not indicated who it is. Okay, I want to say maybe Alonzo Reeves. So we're going to go with Alonzo Reeves. Kick is up, and it's good. 7-0.
It's an impressive opening drive for COC.
Seven nothing, first quarter, 9:12 to go. And let's see if AVC can respond when we come back here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So 7-0, the Cougars on top of Antelope Valley. And the trend continues here, Joe, in this rivalry. Don't know if you can call it a rivalry. I'm sure Coach Jaleka would like to change that tune. Right now it's 13-4 all time, and like you said, 8-0 in the past 8 meetings between the two.
I know he'd like to change that.
Well, they were 5-4 at one point. The first 9 meetings, they were 5-4.
For a few years, it was trading off. The home team would win in this series.
The Marauders coming off of a 7-4 season. And they had a bowl win in the postseason a year ago, 35-21 over Victor Valley. That one in the High Desert Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Were you at that game, Joe?
Yes, it was here at Marauder Stadium.
ABC with their first touch.
Nice coverage.
Blake Verrett, and that is fantastic coverage, and maybe a little bit too much celebrating from the COC side. You see some laundry fly into the air, and I think this is going to be unsportsmanlike going against the Cougars.
It might be.
Let's look at the coverage here, Joe. Very, very good job just getting to the football that quick.
They played off blocks well. They covered the field well. That was good kickoff coverage. But there is a flag down.
Yep. So unsportsmanlike going against the Cougars.
And that negates all of that.
I just like to hear the reaction, but as a coach, how much does that bother you?
More than anything that bothers you. Those kind of mistakes.
Now, I don't see a lot of gray. So I'm very impressed.
I think
for
I
somebody.
got out just in time.
I can imagine. Was Armani Eden starting at quarterback tonight, and he'll have his first crack at it in the short shotgun. Dual threat. Hands off inside, and this one will pick up a couple. It's a pretty good job finishing the tackle, and we talk about the beasts up front defensively for the Cougars. Dorian Gerald signed. He's going to be playing ball in the SEC at Tennessee next year.
I've heard about him.
A lot of people have.
Yes.
Another name of note, Noel Iwuchukwu. An interesting tidbit about both players. Both players run with the wide receivers, and they keep up. That's how fast they are. Freaks of nature.
That's amazing. Those are big kids.
Eden complete near side, and that is a fantastic tracking catch in traffic by Cray Brady. So Brady short to first down yardage. He's going to be a couple yards shy. I thought he fell forward and maybe hit the sticks.
No, they marked him short. I thought he got a little bit further than that.
Yeah, I agree. So much for hometown cooking.
Exactly.
These schools in relatively close proximity of each other.
Yes.
So third and short, and here's an opportunity for the Cougars to get off the field early in the drive, and that one stuffed. No, Eden keeps it, takes it up the middle. That play blown up.
Very good job by Eden.
And really, Iwuchukwu was there. Let's see if we can catch that on the replay here.
I don't know how he got out of that.
Iwuchukwu, number 46, comes off the edge.
I thought he tackled both of them.
Wow. He comes free. Blows up the running back. But Eden kept it, picked up first down yardage, and now he is into Cougar territory, and the Marauders. A little momentum here in their opening drive. Handoff inside, and this one's going to be a big gainer. Chunk play, and it's going to go with Brandon Edwards over left tackle.
Very nice play. Very well blocked off the edge.
And that is even more impressive when you think about how good the edge rushers and the edge play is
sometimes
for the Cougars.
Sometimes it's better to run at the good player than away from them. They'll run things down. But that play, I think they got him that time.
Well, usually you're going to be rewarded with aggression when you go right at an aggressive player. Another handoff inside, and that is a great stick tackle. Shadrick Lowry Jr. on the tackle, but another good gain here on first down. That's going to be an 8-yard carry on first from the 25, so they're down to the 17-yard line. And the Marauders quickly in the end zone. Brandon Edwards, 3 rushes, 32 yards. The YPC looking pretty good so far. Eden going to keep it himself. Fakes out, and there's a flag.
There's a flag.
This is in the area of a hold.
It might be.
Let's see about the flag here. Looks like Eden got his bell rung a little bit, and he's going to come off. The helmet is off. Let's hope that he's okay. Obviously, head injury is a big focal point at all levels of football.
As it should be.
And Michael McPeak. And we were told by Coach Jaleka that we would see McPeak along with Eden. McPeak, more of a traditional style pocket passer. Pretty good deep ball. Let's see if he can utilize some targets on the outside, primarily Blake Verrett. Both freshman quarterbacks, and Coach Jaleka very, very complimentary of his receiving core, all sophomores. McPeak, under duress, evades Dorian Gerald, fires it home, and that's going to be a first down. That pass caught by John Johnson.
Very nice play by McPeak. Got out of trouble, kept his eyes downfield, got the ball to an open man.
Have to really like that play there. And how about McPeak just firing it in right on target? Not necessarily his M.O. Ronnie Eden, very good throwing on the run. How about McPeak?
It was a very good throw.
Showing some accuracy.
He threw it in the right spot, only his receiver could
on the run, and after the penalty there, on the play where Eden comes off, McPeak comes in, does the job, and it's a new set of downs at the 15. Fade to the corner. That's going to be a flag.
I think so.
And here comes first and goal from the 2. That's going to be pass interference. And well, the Cougar DB wants a flag to go in his favor. No way.
That is not going to happen.
Well, let's look at the replay here, Joe. We'll go to it and we'll just see a bunch of contact before the ball even gets there. I mean, if you see it,
well, we can't see it quite right there, but
let's go to the other shot here.
He was making contact with him quite early.
So defensive PI. And what a response here from the Marauders.
They can punch this in. It's a great response. Exactly what they needed to do.
Well, you have to finish drives indeed. And Eden.
That didn't look right.
Yeah, that was a play that got blown up.
I don't know who was wrong, but the running back went one way and the quarterback the other.
Blown up as a result of ineptitude there. It looks like that's an early season play.
Exactly. First game.
Well, let's watch it one more time here. Eden with nowhere to go. Yeah, running back didn't go to the right side.
Eden also came off the field again.
Well, his helmet came off, and I think that's a rule that's been implemented. If the helmet comes off, you have to come off for a play.
Yes, you do.
Just so it turns out that McPeak came in last time and fired a strike, so he stayed out there for a couple more plays.
Now, the exception to that, there's two exceptions to that rule. If you take a timeout, he can come back in immediately after the timeout. Or if his helmet gets pulled off and it results in a penalty, he doesn't have to come off.
So Brandon Edwards, 3 rushes, 32 yards. Armani Eden on this drive, 3 rushes for 7 yards. Jordan Wayne, 1 for 6. Glenn Haller on stats, making me look a lot better than I actually am with the stats, I tell you what.
Glenn's been doing this for a long time.
You know, he's the best statistician that I've ever had live. We did a game at Mount Sac many years ago for a playoff game for basketball, and having that data at your disposal is so key. Get the end zone camera shot here for you. Second and goal from. Well, did they back them up?
Yeah, like they lost yardage on the play.
Looks like they lost a couple.
They're having trouble with the clock.
More play clock issues.
25.
Who's
Put it off, 25. Turn it off.
All right, here we go. That one going to be incomplete, intended for Johnson again.
Just a little too excited. They overthrew him too high. That play had a chance.
Yeah, we'll look at the replay here. Eden. And that's just a drop. That's a bad drop there.
It wasn't a bad pass.
And unfortunate for Eden because he puts that right on the money.
That throw was perfect.
And Johnson just has to reel that in. Made a very nice play earlier in this drive. And is that early movement? Does that delay a game? And talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Not entirely sure. I mean, not really much was mentioned about the kicking game here for the Marauders. But now it's 3rd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, this is a big down. The kicking game for the Marauders hasn't been very strong the last 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know about this year.
Well, it's not something that was pressed upon in the coaching interview. Absolute bullet from Armani Eden. Touchdown, AVC.
Nice throw and catch.
Cray Brady on the reception. Let's see that one more time. And that one right on the money.
That was a good throw. Through a pretty small window.
That's a great job with the fake, holding the linebacker. Creates a lane for himself, and Brady does the rest there. A terrific response from the Marauders, and 1 point away from tying it up. And they do. 7-all. AVC and College of the Canyons. It's the opening SCFA week here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Stay tuned. Seven apiece, the Cougars and the Marauders here. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage, SCFA football triple header in week 1. Happy you've joined us, everybody. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you on the call here tonight. This is going to be a touchback.
Much better kick than the opening kickoff.
Yeah, I think they just want to completely forget what happened on the opening kickoff from a kicking perspective.
Exactly.
This one will be brought out to the 25. Well, how about that opening drive for Armani Eden? 3 for 4 for 45 yards and a touch.
And the one incompletion was a good throw. That was a drop. So he did a very good job in that drive.
Now, Coach, I want to say that there's a stat that keeps track of that where it was all good throws, and sometimes you're more focused on the quarterback play with the stat. As Brito rolls out to his right, has a man wide open near side, and that pass is complete. This is Ethan Lazarick. So Lazarick on the reception. Good for first.
AVC is giving up the short flat so far. And
or check that. It's going to be just a yard shy here. Keep an eye on Hunter Schusler. tight end for the Cougars, number 17. Throw back to the other side. A little extracurricular here. Schussler's throwing a block, and he nearly got flagged for a chop block. It looked like he
was blocking back inside and low.
He was cracking back inside in low, and if the player's engaged, and I want to say that he was, that
is a chop block. That is illegal.
Probably should have been. Well, it's something that definitely was missed. It was definitely borderline. I can't catch it there on the replay.
You don't see tight ends as much anymore on offenses.
Brito trying to extend the play, throws it to the sideline. That's just a heady play there from Brito. And we talked about his pedigree. Paramus Catholic, I'm sure that's a school that you've heard of, Coach, on the East Coast.
Very well known nationally.
Jabril Peppers, drafted in the first round out of Michigan.
Right.
An alumni from there. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the modern day of the East Coast, if you will.
Exactly.
So that one thrown out of bounds. Brito was outside of the tackle, so no intentional grounding. 2nd and 10. Brito takes his time, has a man down the seam, and he just overthrew him. Pass intended for R.B. Marlowe, and that one just missed.
Yeah, he had him beat by 2 or 3 steps. That was just a slightly overthrown pass.
Let's look at the missed opportunity here. Oh.
Yeah, he beat him.
Marlowe had it to the house, and that one just off the mark. Look at that. So 3rd and long here, and the Marauders' eyes start to widen, and that's going to be 5 easy ones for the Cougars. Kamal Muhammad in the neutral zone. I mean, he didn't just jump across.
No,
it looked like he did a dance.
Trip, yeah.
It looked like he went in there to it looks like he went down there for the Soul Train. So Muhammad flagged for 5.
That makes things a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely, because now in near midfield, maybe this is 4th down territory.
Could be.
If you like your matchups, especially with the ability of Brito to extend plays. You don't need 10 now, you only need 5. And with the DBs playing off like they have been, this could be money in the bank. Brito under pressure, throws a screen, and this can be a big play.
Play is set up.
Big play on the far side. That one near horse collar tackle at the end. Pass completed to Deshaun Holmes. Holmes, that's his 3rd catch, and that one goes for pretty good yardage. Well, I can do the math as soon as Glenn updates the stats. Does a better job than I do, that's for sure.
That play was set up from the start. They executed it pretty well.
Yeah, the jailbreak came, but they were ready for it. And Holmes comes back now up to 43 yards. 28-yard gain on that play on 3rd and 5. So delay a game, going to go against the Cougars, so back them up 5, 1st and 15.
Both teams run no huddle, and they've both been flagged for delay of game.
They're probably going to hear about that at half. Brito, quick bubble. Near side pass is complete, and that's a very good tackle.
Missed the blocks this time.
Player was wet, Coach. Couldn't get a hold of him. Jaron Pierce on the reception. Malone with the tackle. That's a very good open field
It was a
tackle,
good tackle.
evading the block. Credit to the DB of getting out of the way of the blocker, making a play.
It was a good tackle. He wrapped him up like
What-
he should.
1:50 remaining here in the opening quarter, 7 all. Cougars driving, trying to respond after the Marauders tie things up. Brito under duress, fires it deep, has a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. Schuessler.
My. That is the
Let's see if we can
total
get this from the end zone shot.
breakdown in coverage.
Wide open, Brito. How about that? Under complete duress and fires a bullet. Schuessler checking the wind on that one.
Complete breakdown in coverage. I don't know why the safety didn't continue to cover deep. He stopped. Good job by Brito.
Yeah, it's just a tremendous throw. Obviously, ABC made it easy on him, but not an easy throw. But COC executes, and now they're up by a touchdown, 14-7. Towards the end of the first quarter, you are watching SCFA football here on SoCal College Sports. So back and forth we go here. An interesting first quarter. The Cougars up by 7. Schuessler from 31 yards out. If the name sounds familiar, he had a brother that backed up Deshaun Watson at Clemson. There's a flag on the field. A big return here.
Afraid it might go back.
Yeah, I think this one coming back. There's a helmet on the field that belongs to an ABC player. See if we can spot the foul here, Joe. I don't really see much there.
I did not see it.
Be nice if I could slow that down. And indeed, it will go against ABC. Everybody, if you have a chance, check out our YouTube channel and subscribe at SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube and then on Twitter at SoCal College SPO. Visit the website, www.socalcollegesports.com. So this is pretty rough field position to start off their second drive for the Marauders. As the first quarter winds down, 1:21 to go here in the first. Marauders trailing by 7. Eden in the shotgun. Armani hands off inside. And a 3-yard gain. Make it a 4-yard gain. On first down, make it 2nd and 5.
It's not a bad gain on first down, 4 yards.
It's a really good effort after first contact. I want to say he picked up 3 yards after first contact. Trayvon Green, the ball carrier. And Green again with some daylight up the middle, still on his feet, out past the 40. They'll mark him down at the 42. And apologies, that's Perry Martin on the carry.
Yeah, you can be excused for making that.
Yeah, 28 and 29, and I wear
Plus,
glasses.
They both look alike. All of ABC's running backs look the same. They're all built the same. And run the same, nice and low and hard runners. That was a good run. He finished it well.
Very good run. Perry Martin, 2 rushes for 31. Right there with Brandon Edwards, he has 3 rushes for 32. Another run, what a jump cut.
Nice.
And Martin feeling it here on the second drive for the Marauders.
Very nice read at the point of attack.
Let's see if we can catch the replay here on that end zone shot. That's going to look pretty. See it here, just a beautiful jump cut. Like you said, at the point of attack, did exactly what he needed to do. And that will do it for the first quarter. 14-7, ABC trying to respond on their second offensive drive. We'll be back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as the wide open West, you can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
Back to action here. Second quarter, the Marauders working left to right now. Eden hands off inside, and again, Perry Martin going to work. Well, in the years that we've covered football here, Joe, I mean, I'm a basketball guy, but in terms of just kind of picking up the game, a lot of times, how do you want to attack speed? You want to run it right up the gut.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what AVC has done, and they've done it with some pretty good success, and that's really opened up the passing game as well, as we saw Cray Brady hauling the first touchdown for AVC. Quick throw on the outside near side. Eden gets absolutely hammered, but the pass is complete. This to John Johnson.
Nice play.
So Eden gets up off the deck, smarting a little bit, gives it a little fist pump. It's a first down. It's a big gain in Cougar territory at the 34.
He had pressure right away, but it was in his face. He saw it coming. He did a good job of avoiding it. I like the way he keeps looking downfield when he adjusts in the pocket.
We have a timeout, looks like, on the field. It's going to be taken by Coach Perry Jaleka and company.
A little bit of confusion, I think.
He just wants to get the right play call. I think Coach Jaleka realizes that the Cougars are a little bit on their heels right now defensively, and he wants to take advantage.
Yeah, I agree with that. Both defenses seem to be on their heels. The offenses right now seem to be in control of the game.
Well, I appreciate the break. I mean, I need as much as possible. Going up and down these stairs during setup, I was huffing and puffing. I've been doing Zumba. Strong by Zumba.
You could use the smoke as an excuse. It's a little bit smoky out here.
You know what? I'm not going to lean on that as a crutch, but you know what? I see where you're going. I give us a shout out at SoCal College SPO. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts on the call here tonight. The campus of Antelope Valley. seen a lot of things. We saw 21 points combined in the first quarter. We saw some rain, torrential downpours. And we've seen a lot of Perry Martin. Martin going to pick up another 3. Well, why not give it to the hot hand?
I don't see any reason to stop doing what they're doing. If it works, keep going.
Really smart move here by Coach Jaleka, really dictating the pace. They want to play on their terms. They understand that if this defense starts to gain a little bit of momentum, Eden gets hit by his own man, has a man over the middle. This pass is complete. It's a good one.
There it is again. He kept his eyes downfield, found the guy open.
Well, we don't have a name for number 88, but that's who made the reception. We'll try and get on that shortly. Eden hands off inside. Martin again, big burst through the hole. He's going to be right at the sticks.
Another good run. He really finishes his runs well. He goes forward after contact, yards after contact.
Khalil Kanata, Canada. So second and a short 1 at the 11. And the Marauders responding with authority. Martin gets tackled at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost quarter of a yard.
Well,
that's good penetration there from Cougars.
This is a drive that started at their own 10-yard line, so this is an impressive drive.
Well, defensively, coming in, Coach Iacenda for College of the Canyons had mentioned, this is one of the best lines that I've coached. And you look at the talent up front. But I got to tell you, winning the trench battle right now, that's a good throw on the outside and catch.
Yes, he did come down in bounds, yes.
And was that Cray Brady? I think it was.
Yes.
Check that Jordan Wayne on the reception. All right. So Jordan Wayne had the touchdown earlier. Cray Brady plays for the Cougars. He's number 81. 81 for the Marauders is Jordan Wayne. That one's going nowhere. In fact, that might lose a couple.
What has been set up is the quarterback keeps the ball right now.
Yeah.
They're reacting to that dive.
Well, I think the Cougars are starting to make the adjustment. Obviously, that's easier to make that adjustment when you get inside the 20. Eden keeps it, rolls to his right, looking for something to open up, and he has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Blake Verrett. It's a great athletic play made by Eden. Let's see the replay. You see Eden here, moves the pocket to his right.
Threw back across his body. There's a very good throw.
Good throw, good zip, considering he was on the run, and Barrett gets the job done. And the extra point up and good. 14-all.
Well, at this pace, it'll be who has the ball last.
9:54 to go here in the second quarter. You are watching SCFA football here on SoCal College Sports.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as a wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
H.W. Hunter, Ram of the West, contributed to AVC football, making this broadcast possible here. 5 of them coming at you here on SoCal College Sports in week 1. Got a barn burner. 14-all. Good back and forth. It's like a good boxing match. About 3 rounds in. I think both fighters have scored a knockdown. Now COC with a chance to respond. Not much doing there. A little bit passed out the 30 is Brandon Pierce.
Well, let's see who makes the other team punt first.
Yeah. Well, you have to figure, considering the conditions, smoke in the air. We talked about at the top of the broadcast, the weather. It's been hot. It's going to be a war of attrition. And which team comes in with better conditioning earlier in the season? Sometimes that can be a big factor.
A lot of times that's a big factor.
Brito back to pass, loses his footing, regains it, rolls to his right, has a man down the field. Pass is caught! Jaron Pierce.
Both quarterbacks are impressive tonight. That was
very
just a great
impressive.
play.
Let's see the replay here. Brito has been money on the run and chalks up another one. What a catch. Very impressive from Brito and Pierce. Well, it was Brandon Pierce on the kickoff return. Jaron Pierce with the reception. That one batted in the air. A missed opportunity there for the Marauders. That one really bouncing in no man's land.
They were very fortunate that play was set up well again. That was the tunnel screen, the jailbreak screen they ran before.
That's a great job, though, by the Marauders keeping their hands up that time and really disrupting that.
Believe me, I coached the secondary, and I love that.
Let's see the replay here. Just a quick hand up, and that could have been 6 going back the other way. That's what you're hoping for in that situation. Brito makes a read at the line, back into the shotgun. Changes the play. Logan split to his right. Jalen Logan, the running back for the Cougars. Looks like there was early movement there, and that one just all over the place from the Cougars, and AVC capitalizes for a loss. 3rd and long coming up.
That snap was way to his left. He did a good job handling that. That could have been a disaster.
Third and 12. Cougars. Will they be the first team to punt?
I don't think so. I think this might be 4-down territory for them.
I think you might be right here, Joe. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you on tonight's coverage. And play just not there, and the play clock running down to 1. Coach Hyacenda going to have to take a timeout, and he's not happy about it. Take a timeout ourselves. Back in a moment. Word from our sponsor.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as a wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
Well, H.W. Hunter Ram of the West.
Kind of like this. They did a 55-55 at the end of regulation.
And we're just hearing from Glenn Heller. The last time a game was like this between these two schools, it ended in regulation 55-55.
I was at that game.
Did you play in that game?
No, I was a spectator.
That's back in 2012, double overtime. 62-61.
It was ridiculous
Ugh.
from a coaching standpoint.
And you got to figure that's probably in the head of Coach Perry Jaleka. That was the one.
Might be.
Seems to have had some battles in the past. A year ago, it was a 32-19 win for COC. ABC hasn't won one since 2008. Brito lets it fly, and that one through the hands of his intended target. Looks like that was Jamin Serrano. Lazarick, rather. Ethan Lazarick.
This might be the first stop if ABC can rise to the occasion here. This might be the first stop of the game.
Well, Coach, coming in and talking with a lot of the coaches from around the SCFA, COC was, one of those teams that is poised to make some noise. And you have to really be impressed with how the Marauders have come out and matched the fire. Brito shakes loose. On the run to his left. He's going to be brought down, and that will do it for the possession here for COC. The ball will go over on downs back to ABC. And the Marauders are going to take over.
First stop of the game.
Well, they're having a conversation here near side. Joe, what's the conversation about? Is there a flag on the field?
I don't see a flag, but there was something that happened when the quarterback got thrown off the field into ABC's bench. There's kind of some some commotion there. So, yeah, there is a personal foul.
Personal foul.
It would have been a chance to get him off the field.
So instead of getting COC's offense off of the field, you incur 15 yards on the personal foul call, and now the Cougars on the doorstep. An unfortunate series of events here for ABC. They were playing so well. 8:02 remaining here in the second quarter, 14 all. A chance here for the Cougars to put some points on the board.
Drives the coaches crazy.
Brito. Hands off near side, that one going nowhere. It's a pretty good job staying upright by Jalen Logan. Stay on his feet, extend the play, but he's still going to lose yardage. Cheyenne Bradford on the tackle. Interesting story about Bradford. We'll get to that later on. That was a loss of yardage here, Coach. Was that a loss of 5?
Big loss, yes, for first down.
Still okay. Loss of 8, second and 18 here. Brito to his right has a man in the flat. That pass is complete. Staying inbound and doing a pretty good job of it, making the catch, Jared Pierce.
Just got all the yards back.
So 3rd and long here coming up. Got a good one here, Coach.
So far, it's entertaining.
Brito has a man in the end zone, throws his man open, touchdown, Cougars.
Very good throw.
Is that Keelan White? No, check that. It's R.B. Marlowe. So Marlowe on the reception. And just like that, COC now in the lead.
What a costly penalty.
Pretty good viewership right now. In triple digits. Likely going to be over 1,000 for the ball game to kick up and good. 21-14. And COC breaks the tie. You have to wonder what could have been if not for the personal foul penalty on 4th down.
Their very first chance to get them off the field, and they do that. I'm sure Coach Dillek is going to have a lot to say about that on Monday.
Forget Monday. How about halftime?
Okay, yes.
Mike Sabeta, Joe Watts with you on tonight's call from Marauders Stadium on the campus of Antelope Valley College. ELAC and Orange Coast. On our other channel, Jay Holloway, Matt Henson with the call there. Jeff Stoynoff had the call earlier today. Ventura in a rout over Santa Barbara. Have some more scores for you here. We'll track those down in halftime. Spread the word. You got some family, you got some friends. Hey, little Johnny's on the tube. And remember, you don't have to be in front of a computer. You can watch us on your phone, on an iPad. If you do have an Apple TV, you can go to the YouTube app, go to our channel, SoCal College Sports 1, and you can upscale the broadcast to 1080p.
Nice.
Technology.
Yes.
So clutch. It's a good kick there from COC. Be a touchback, and ABC will have it at their own 25.
Better starting position than their last drive, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they went 90 for their last drive. Right now, the Marauders looking very good on the ground. Perry Martin, 8 rushes for 53 yards. Brandon Edward, 3 for 32. Jordan Wayne, 3 for 20 and a touch. John Johnson, 2 for 22. Did have a drop in the end zone. Blake Verrett, only 1 catch, but that one went for 6. Khalil Canada, 1 for 12. Armani Eden will go back to work. Very impressive so far tonight. Handoff inside, and that'll go for just 1. DJ Payne.
COC read that play quickly this time. I think they're expecting it. Made the adjustment.
Well, at one point, will the talent stand out? Because you know you got a ton of it on the COC side. No Dorian Gerald right now on the field. Eden has a man near. That's Johnson. There's a sideline for the completion and a first. Very nice catch.
Yes, nice throw. Right up against the sideline.
Let's see it again. It's a very good route.
Good route. Turned him around.
I wonder if the SIDs for the SCFA or throughout the state of California have thought about starting a fantasy football for the football. And this one is going to get blown up. Not going to be much there. It looked like the quarterback and the running back were going to the same place.
Not a smooth mesh this time.
And by same place, I don't mean that the running back was acting as a lead blocker.
No, that was not a smooth mesh. He did a good job, actually, of getting something out of that.
It's always good to fall forward, from what I hear. Eden. Complete to Johnson. And Johnson seems to be the security blanket here for Armani. And you have to really like the connection between Armani and John.
He got a poor spot, though.
There's a flag on the field. I wonder if this is going to be a hold in the secondary. Armani Eden is
It's
clapping,
good.
and
It is
this
holding.
indeed is going to be a hold going against the Cougars. So this is going to be, is it 5 and a first or 10 and a first?
10 and a first.
So 10 and a first in favor of the Marauders, and you'll take it if you're AVC. 5:27 to go here in the second quarter.
Both teams have some penalties at inopportune times.
Handoff inside. Not much doing there.
No, they're reading that play now. They're pinching down for that. The defensive front.
Well, Gerald is no longer in the game. We
I
haven't
see
seen
that.
him on this drive.
I see that. I wonder what's
And-
going on.
And the replacement, which is Chris Fanga, is doing a fantastic job of reading that a lot quicker than Gerald had been.
Maybe that's why he's in.
And you wonder,
Yeah, it might be.
was it Gerald not doing his job, or was he hurt? You always ask the question. Obviously, football injuries happen, from play to play. Eden rolling to his left, throws it on the run, has a man tiptoeing the sideline, and that was once again Jordan Wayne.
Both quarterbacks do a good job of throwing on the run. Very accurate on the run.
How about Armani Eden? He really hasn't missed a pass. He's 9 of 10 tonight for 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the pass that went incomplete was a drop.
That's amazing. First game.
I have to love it in the first game of the season.
Yes.
Eden hands off inside, and that one goes nowhere. And was that juice?
They're coming down. Those ends are pinching. That play's not going to work as long as they're doing that.
Looked like Earl English throwing a little English into that one. DJ Payne going nowhere. Tough sledding running the ball on this drive, but the passing game has been keen here for Armani Eden. Second along, we have
That was
movement
false
early.
start.
Is that on the receiver?
Which should never happen, but it does.
Long pass, and that's a good job by Johnson breaking that one up. Eden was under duress. Man had come free, and that was Alex Rockwell in the defensive line for the Cougars.
I think they had maximum protection on that, and he still had somebody in his face. There's only like 1 or 2 receivers out on that route.
Well, Dorian Gerald now back into the ball game, and you have to suspect that the Cougars are going to pin their ears back here and go right after the quarterback. And does ABC maybe go to the little screen action here? Eden throwing near side. Not enough on that one, intended for Johnson, and there's some contact in the backfield, and this is going to go against the Cougars. And they're going to flag Hunter Anderson, I think, for roughing the passer.
I believe you're right.
And indeed, that will be the call. So 3rd and 15, forget all about it. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of the Cougars now here for Antelope Valley. 2:49 to go. And can Antelope Valley maybe tie things up before we go in at the half?
Well, both teams are aided by what coaches would call, dumb mistakes. There's some mistakes that are, you're not thinking. That's, effort is fine, but you got to think too.
Yeah, both defenses employing shotgun to the foot strategy here in the first half.
Exactly.
And off inside, a good burst up the middle. We go for a 4-yard gain. That was DJ Payne. Lonzo Reeves on the tackle. Reeves had the opening touchdown here for COC. The heavy package.
Yes.
Hand off, no. Eden going to keep it, and he's going to complete.
Nice.
Verrett. Verrett, excuse me.
Yes, Verrett.
At the 19, new set of downs. Stop the clock momentarily to move the sticks, and here we go for AVC. And off inside, this one going nowhere.
They need to start thinking about the clock. It's a
There-
minute and 28 seconds
There's a
left.
flag on the field. And do you maybe think that somebody jumped all sides defensively? Seemed like an early flag with somebody lined up in the halftime here from Antelope Valley, College of the Canyons, and the Marauders, 21 all. Fantastic first half of football, week 1 in the SCFA. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you on this evening's call. Apologies, everybody. Just want to give you a heads up. We are having some issues with the internet in the booth, so we apologize for any dropped frames or any dropped action. We will repost the game on our website in its entirety. Without the drop frames and all that. So do stick around, www.socalcollegesports.com, and we do apologize for any technical mishaps that we're having today. Week 1, trying to work out all the kinks and get everything free-flowing for you throughout the rest of the season. Again, we will be here for 5 games total, tonight included. We'll bring up the schedule later on in the evening. Actually, let's do that now. So the next time you will see us here on SoCalCollegeSports.com for Antelope Valley football, it will be versus College of the Desert on 9/23, and then Citrus. That'll be a division game on 10/14. Then 11-4 and then 11-11. Final 2 games of the season versus Allen Hancock and L.A. Pierce. Back in a moment. Little recap of the first half along with Joe Watts. This is Mike Cepeda. Back in a moment.
LA County's #1 Ram truck dealer with an inventory as big as the wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram
I'm better
truck
with the
today
lights.
during the Ram Power Days.
Thank you.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer with an inventory as big as the wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
coast. 52-yard scoring drive for the Pirates to make it a one-point ball game again. 14-13. Corey Lewis to kick it deep and it'll go in the end zone. So a 25-yard line start for Phil Tran in his first start of his career. Coast. 52-yard scoring drive for the Pirates to make it a one-point ball game again. 14-13. Corey Lewis to kick it deep and it'll go in the end zone. So a 25-yard line start for Phil Tran in his first start of his career.
Moments away from the start of the second half, 21 all, College of the Canyons and Antelope Valley, week 1 of SCFA football, the crossover game, American and National Conferences duking it out here in week 1. Mike Spada, Joe Watts with you on tonight's coverage. And Joe, an incredible first half offensively from both teams. Defensively, a little bit more to be desired, some bright spots, but really both teams shooting themselves in the foot via penalties.
Yes, Mike. I think probably the halftime adjustments for both teams all involved what they had needed to change on defense.
Absolutely. AVC will get it first here in the second half, and really neither team has stopped the opposing offense. Will that trend continue?
We'll see.
It wouldn't be out of the norm here for these two schools. Remember, they met back up. We talked about it back in 2012. In regulation, the game ended 55 all, and eventually the winner being COC 62-61 in double overtime. Again, we apologize for any technical difficulties that we were having throughout the stream in the first half. We are on a wireless internet connection, a little more unstable versus a hardwired connection. That really much we could do there. And that possibly a late hit. Armani Eden, the correct pronunciation, I'm being told. And Coach, is that McPeak now? No. Eden will come to the near sideline. As the play called in by head coach Perry Chileka.
He had a great half.
Yeah. He did come off briefly. McPeak did make an appearance in that first half. Eden have to come off with what looked to be a head injury. Flag on the field, and this is going to be.
Of course, we have a penalty.
I think this is going to go against the offense here. Early movement. After a 1 yard gain, back them up 5. 2nd and 14 coming up here for the Marauders. Well, Coach, oftentimes when you see both teams have an on-fire first half, now you'll come out a little stagnant. You lose the momentum, that rhythm with the 20-minute break there can work against you.
That's true, and that might be what's happening with ABC. They're going backwards on their first drive right now.
Yeah, not the trend you wanted to set here coming into the second half. Eden under duress. Dorian Gerald, sack number 1 on the evening.
Really going backwards.
See the replay on that one. Gerald gets there in a hurry. He just absolutely speed rushes around the edge.
When he takes a split that wide, you know he's going to speed rush. That tackle could not touch him.
Well, we talked about the conversation with Coach Iacenda earlier in the week. He's a freak of nature.
Yes.
He runs with the wide receivers, and when we say he runs with them, he runs with them.
Exactly. He showed some speed.
And he's 6'3", 270, Coach. Eden throws it up for grabs, and that one nearly picked off. The defensive backs ran into each other at the high point of the football. So the first punt coming on tonight here for either team. And Glenn Haller, statistician tonight here for Antelope Valley, came over with a very interesting stat. Last time these two teams played, which was last year en route to a win for COC, Dorian Gerald was part of a party that tallied 11 sacks.
11 sacks.
That was their first one tonight. So obviously ABC doing their homework and doing a really good job of making that a focal point, protecting the quarterback. And a lot of credit to Armani Eden doing a very good job of extending plays and making players miss.
He is. He's doing a lot himself in the pocket.
Well, it's the first punt. This is a pretty good one. Directional punt, well, could have been a little better.
They're marking it pretty far up.
I thought it caught a lot of air, but apparently the wind caught it going far side of the field.
Well, COC gets the start on the plus side of the 50, so it was not a good punt.
Well, here we go. Andrew Brito going to go to work. Sends his running back in motion. Bluffs at him. Going to go down the middle of the field. Has a man, R.B. Marlowe, but that one just incomplete. Marlowe couldn't catch up to it.
Again, Brito sidesteps a potential sack. He has very good footwork.
We'll see it again. Just really good feet in the pocket. That was close to being a late hit on the quarterback. It was a late hit on the quarterback. I just saw the flag. On the replay.
They did get it. Oh, no.
Well, hey, I got a lot of responsibilities going up in the booth, Joe. You see it firsthand. So a fresh set of downs inside the 30 for COC. And AVC on their heels defensively. courtesy of another penalty. Brito to his right. That's a good play made
Good defense.
near side. That was, is that Dylan Smith? I believe so. So DeLon Smith. And thank you, Chris Eden, for tuning in and showing your support. Chris Eden, I have to believe, probably related to Armani Eden.
I'm pretty sure.
Chris, go ahead and type in your relationship with Armani. Pass is incomplete near side. That's one of I don't. Is that the first drop tonight?
I've not seen a receiver drop a pass. That was
Deshaun
not a bad
Holmes,
throw.
the intended target. Looks like the wind's starting to pick up just a little bit here, Joe.
Not unusual here in the high desert.
No, not at all. And well, and oftentimes the elements can play a key factor, especially in the passing game.
Yes, indeed.
Brito, plenty of time, fires it up the middle. Schussler, touchdown number 2. Hunter. See the replay here. That is just a dart. It's pitch and catch. You cannot allow that much time
No pressure.
to a player of that caliber. No pressure, no coverage.
No.
And that is an easy 6 for the Cougars. Well, there are no halftime adjustments after halftime. In ABC, they have to muster up a response. They came out pretty flat here to start the second half offensively. That tune is going to have to change if they want to change the trend.
Yes, it is.
They've dropped their last 8 to College of the Canyons, have the Marauders, and they now trail them 28-21 here in the third. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. Flat here to start the second half offensively. That tune is going to have to change if they
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as a wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
Well, back to battle here for AVC. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you on tonight's coverage. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage, Week 1 SCFA football. Happy you've joined us, everybody. And, Joe, it was a nice first half for the Marauders. Second half, not so much.
No, and COC came out doing just what they did in the first half. Didn't miss a beat.
And Verrett with a nice hole near side. Out to the 45, cuts it back. He's at midfield, no flags on the play, and a fantastic response. And this is going to be another 15.
There is a flag.
Late hit, likely going to go against COC.
Well, they found a way to help them out.
Well, we'll see the replay here.
That's a good return.
Verrett turns it back inside, and he is crushed out of bounds by about 2 players from the Cougar side. That's just an easy call. You just have to be smarter than that.
Much. That was very far out of bounds.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even borderline. I think as a coach, you'll take borderline,
Yes,
chalk
you
it
can
up to effort.
understand that, but not that.
What you can't have is foolery. And that's exactly what we see on that play. So, terrific starting possession for.
They're almost in the red zone to start their drive.
They'll start their drive at the 25. It doesn't get much better than that.
No.
Unless you're on the 1. Don't really know if I've seen that very often. So Eden now in the short shotgun. We'll keep it. Has some time. That's a great block picked up.
Oh, my.
Another completion near
Nice
side.
catch.
Jordan Wayne.
Very nice catch.
Close to the sticks. I think that is going to be a first. $11-yard pickup for Jordan Wayne. He's up to 50 yards on the evening, 6 catches. Oh, yeah, he's got a couple touchdowns, too.
Yes, he does.
Handoff inside. Not much doing there. Nuachukwu wraps up Brandon Edwards. Edwards with a hot hand early, but Perry Martin ratcheting it up in the first half. He had 8 carries for 53 yards. Not really much going on the ground for the Cougars in this one. Andrew Brito, the quarterback, their lead rusher, 5 carries for 15 yards. All their damage has been done through the air.
Yes, it has.
And Brito has been fantastic, 11 of 22. He does have a pick, but that was really in garbage time at the end of the first half, 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. Eden keeps himself, and that's just a bad drop on the outside. Is that Verrett?
Yeah, he was trying to run before he had the ball.
Yep. I think Verrett maybe heard the pitter-patter
Yeah, with that too.
of a linebacker charging in. So that pass falls incomplete. So 3rd down now and 10 at the 14. Eden talks it over with Brandon Edwards. Here comes the rush. Eden trying to stay on his feet and could not evade Walter Ramirez. They call him Gio. Gio with a sack.
Brandon Edwards didn't know what he was doing on that play. He missed the block. That was the problem.
Well, I think they sent too many to block. But I think you're right. Edwards a little late. I think he picked up the wrong guy and results in a sack, and here comes the kicking unit.
36.
Cake is up. Long enough. It looks good. And it is. Dylan McGowden rather. Cuts the lead to 4, 28-24. Still in the 3rd quarter. 9:51 to go. So a mixed bag of results here on that drive for Antelope Valley. A terrific return and then a penalty. They find themselves at the 25-yard line in Cougar territory to start things off. And then a pretty good pass on 1st down there from Eden, but not much doing after that. And that's settle for a field goal.
I think that's a plus for COC that they made him.
That's a win, absolutely.
That's a win for them here.
Well, it's a win for them on that drive, and they're winning the battle right now by 4.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as the wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
Back to action here after the field goal. From Dylan McGowden. McGowden charges into that one. It's a directional kick. It's a low kick, and this is returnable. Pierce gets a block and might have gotten an illegal block, which sprung him.
Yes.
Laundry on the field. Likely going to go in the wrong direction here if you're a Cougar fan. Spread the word, everybody. If you have some family playing in this game, feel free to chime in. Let them know. They can watch this on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. give us a shout on Twitter at SoCal College SBO. Well, special thanks tonight, obviously, to you, Joe, coming out and providing your expertise. Longtime coach here for Antelope Valley. You played here at Antelope Valley. You coached with Perry Jaleka for a number of years. Glenn Haller, Sports Information Director, Athletic Director, Tom Gang, new Athletic Director, newly minted.
Yes.
And he's done a fantastic job thus far. And this looked like a little bit of a trick play that just really went nowhere.
It didn't work.
And is the ball on the deck? AVC is indicating that the ball hit the turf. I think they're ruling that R.B. Marlowe was down.
He was.
Well, let's take a gander. Because we can't. Just tough to figure in that pile. Ball maybe got punched out or ripped out after the player was already down. It's a loss of 3 on the play. Second, a gain of 3, rather.
Yes.
Excuse me. Looked like he might have lost yardage for a second on that play. And then
it didn't look like he gained any yardage on that play.
Credit to Marlowe,
he did.
making something out of nothing. Yeah, first contact was behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that's gonna be a loss of yardage. First sack on the night for AVC at a crucial juncture. It's a loss of 7, maybe 8. 3rd and a mile coming up here for the Cougars. Keep an eye out for Hunter Schuessler. Two touchdowns tonight, and he is really the big target. And a player of note in the conversation that we had with Coach Isenda early in the week. Schuessler, they are going to use him. He is a weapon offensively. Big body, good sides, runs great routes, and very good hands.
Target him tonight, though?
Not very many. And Marlowe
He had to get
running
rid of
and going.
He had to get rid of it too soon.
Yeah, Brito.
They're starting to get some pressure on him.
Well, I got to tell you, I got a feeling somebody got into the ear of the defensive line after that opening drive that allowed a touchdown to score.
I'm sure they did.
No pressure on the quarterback. And, you know, the coaching staff did a great job of challenging their unit. And the unit responded with some ferocity. And this is going to be the first punt here tonight for COC.
Yes.
Paris-Jones, rather. Back to receive it. It's out of bounds in Canyons territory. AVC, terrific field position here.
Again.
At the 43, they didn't make much of their last opportunity, although they did get 3 on the board, a chance to take the lead on this drive. It would be their first tonight. DJ Payne, the tailback. Cougars showing blitz. And he gets there. The ball's on the deck, and that's a fumble.
He lost the ball.
That's a no doubt about it. It's a sack that results in a fumble recovery. Guess who? Dorian Gerald.
I'm not sure if this was a read play or a design keep, because he should have given that ball, not kept it.
Well, we've seen at times some indecision in the backfield between the handoff and the running back and the quarterback, and that indecision that time with the pressure getting there a little quicker than it has been all night finally burned them, and it's a turnover. And is that the first? No, it's a second turnover tonight, but really the first one of note.
Right.
So they're going to start this drive at midfield, will the Cougars. Live action. Out of the backfield. Pass complete.
Good tackle.
And that's a
Good
great open field tackle there. That one made by Melvin Hicks. Jaron Pierce. Oh, Tyron Barnes, excuse me. .727 and counting here in quarter number 3. COC now back with the ball after a fumble recovery from Dorian Gerald. Brito drops back, has some time, fires it far side, has a man. And again going for Jaron Pierce, but Pierce could not catch up to that one.
I'm not sure that didn't go through his hands. That was a pretty good throw.
Let's look at it again. It was a pretty good throw. I think it was just off the tips here. Just a little bit too long.
A little bit too far. It's a formation they haven't been in very much, and
I don't know if we've seen, well, 2 up and 2 down, single back.
They've been mostly 3 trips
to
one side or the other.
So Brito and the miscommunication there. I think that was Marlowe. No? That pass was intended for Brandon Pierce, listed as a defensive back. So the second punt, so is 2 punts back-to-back, forced by the defensive Marauder unit.
Got a little defense showing up this half.
Didn't see it. Well, we saw it at times in the first half, but the offense was much better.
Yes.
And do you wonder if the offensive lines for both units are starting to get a little tired?
Could be.
Kick is away.
Good kick.
Yeah, that if it gets a good bounce, yeah, it's gonna pin the Marauders inside their own 10. A
Very
fantastic effort.
Good kick.
Travis Reiner. Check out the website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SoCalCollegeSPO, and, of course, our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe. You'll be notified of our broadcast throughout the season, SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. 3 games today. First triple header for football in our history. It's been an eventful day. Not a lot of sleep last night. A lot of driving today. Ball on the deck again.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Recovered by ABC, but they lost yardage.
Yeah, well, the penetration is getting there.
Yes,
Something
their D-line
fierce
is
right now from COC, and they're starting to feel it.
Yes.
Handoff inside again. This one going in the right direction for Antelope Valley, but still going to bring up 3rd and long. Looks like a 3rd and a long 8 here coming up for the Marauders. I didn't say 3rd and 7 after they respot the ball. Eden rolling to his right. It's a man down the sideline. That one into the sideline. It's going to fall incomplete.
That was one of Eden's
And the defensive intensity continues to show for both sides here, Joe.
That was the first time I think he made a bad decision. I thought he had a receiver open shorter that could have given him a first down. That guy right there or that guy right there.
Yeah, running an out, and that would have been close to first down yardage, but, just maybe missed a read, wanted to make a bigger play than was necessary. And, yeah, I think you're right. Maybe one of the first times tonight where we've seen Armani Eden not take what the defense was giving him and trying to make a little bit too much happen there. It's going to result in a punt.
Out of a deep hole, too, so this could be a big play.
It's going to be a tough one to field. It does take a fortunate AVC bounce. Wow. It bounces all the way back to the 20. Ball is still on the deck. It was not fielded cleanly.
Wow.
Well, so much for digging or kicking out of a hole.
He got it out of there. What a bounce.
Well, you don't oftentimes see replays of punts, but watch this kick.
It's a rugby-style kick.
It's a rugby style, exactly right there, Joe, and it almost does a curveball off of the turf and completely fools the returner. Yeah, so Glenn Haller updating my math. 66 yards on the punt. Very impressive. Run over the left side.
Rare running play for COC.
Haven't seen a lot of those.
Yes.
Jalen Logan. Brito in the shotgun. Keeps it himself. He's going to have first down yards a little bit more.
He is. Two good running plays.
Well, Brito's a player that can utilize his feet, but they prefer not to do that. Obviously, he's a little short, kind of in the Doug Flutie mold in terms of his size and stature, but in terms of playmaking ability, probably in the same mold every bit of.
He's a good quarterback. I'm surprised he didn't get a look at Division I.
Well, it could have been a situation where maybe he did get a couple looks from a Division I, but he just didn't like the situation. And you're only going to get better with reps. And
right.
The JUCO route really does provide a lot of opportunities to get better and get reps. And I played at a four-year university, and I didn't get much playing time my first 2 years. And of course, my third year hurt my knee. So there went that. Brito making the most of it. He's been fantastic here tonight. Under duress, extends the play. Pass is complete. This is going to be a first down.
That was an unbelievable play by
Khalid
Brito.
Taylor on the reception and a first down. Let's see it again. Brito. ABC threw the kitchen sink at him.
He was being run down, but he knew who to get the ball to.
He just has an amazing ability to just know when the rush is going to get there. The anticipation is very uncanny at this level. Read option. Brito keeps it himself. He's going to have a nice gain here on first down. 4 or 5 yard pickup. Let's see where they spot it.
About a 5-yard gain. That's all. That's all you need.
Well, when you're able to sustain drives like this offensively, give your defense a chance to really recharge the batteries when they come out. And they have been wreaking havoc here in the second half. Have the Cougars. Antelope Valley's a little up and down here in the second half. Bad snap. Brito going to try and track it down. He does. A big loss.
That could be a costly mistake.
A tough set of circumstances there, and that's going to bring up third down.
And a mile.
Yeah, third and zip code here, Joe. Yeah, College of the Canyons needs College of the Canyons for a first. Specifically, 3rd and 24 here for the Cougars. Brito throws it short. This is Schussler, stays in bounds. It's a heady play. You have the lead. You want to have a little bit more time, tick off the clock.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake here, compound the situation.
And that was actually Ethan Lazarick on the reception. A flag on the field. Offsides. Well, 3rd and 19 now, and of course you're going to take the penalty there after you didn't pick up the first. So let's do it again. -5 yards in favor of the Cougars. Trips left here for Brito.
This is their favorite formation.
Here comes the blitz. Brito steps up, fires it down the sideline. I don't think that pass was caught inbounds.
Too far out.
Looked like Khalid Taylor made the reception, but he was out of bounds, and here comes the punting unit. Well, we want to talk about some zip on that throw.
He's got a very live arm.
I mean, he throws it moving to his left.
Yes.
And that's what caused the ball to go left up the field and out of bounds. Well, Brito tonight, 13 of 28, 210, 3 touchdowns. His team has the lead right now. And this one takes an AVC bounce. .32-yard punt. To the Marauder 27, and that's where ABC will take over. Well, we promised you some scores from around the SCFA. Let's bring those up now. Eden hands up, or hands off rather, up the middle, nothing there. And, well, as the game goes along, this defensive front seems to just be getting better here for the Cougars.
They're getting stronger as it goes along. They were not moved off the ball that time.
Well, one of the earlier games, Fullerton big over Santa Ana, 77-28. Ventura huge over Santa Barbara, 44-6. Golden West comes back in the fourth quarter for a 17-10 win over Glendale. That was at Golden West. I want to say that was one of their first home games in a while. Usually playing at OCC. Defense quick to get there, and John Johnson does a decent job of making something out of nothing.
Good reaction to that play, though.
Yeah, defensively, getting east and west was very impressive there on that play from the Cougars. And another 3rd and long situation coming up here for the Marauders. Might it be another 3 and out? Santa Monica over West LA, 31-30.
Wow.
Little barn burner there. San Diego Mesa over Grossmont, 36-7. That's an impressive game there from Mesa. They're in the fourth. Chaffee with a 3-point lead on top of Citrus. Palomar 28-21. That was at the half. 33-2. LA Harbor over Compton. Mount Sac on top of San Bernardino Valley, 31-15. East LA, ELAC, the game that we have, 17-16. They're in the fourth.
Wow.
Right now we have a timeout on the field. We're going to take one ourselves. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. head into the fourth quarter, 28-24. Antelope Valley trailing it by 4 to College of the Canyons. Canyons have won the last 8 matchups in a row. And right now, the Marauders trying to buck the trend, not going to do it on this drive, as Eden is sacked by Jell Perry. Little indecision there cost Eden that time, Joe.
Yes, it did. Perry came from a long ways to get him. He should get the ball out before he gets there.
Agreed. Back to some more scores. Moorpark 20-13 over L.A. Pierce. Saddleback shutting out College of the Desert. That's at Desert. 13-0.
Got blockers.
Big run, big return. This one might go to the house. One man to beat, and it's the punter getting it done, but a terrific job of a return by COC, and they are in business inside of the 20 of the Marauders. LA Valley down by 7 at halftime to Cerritos, 14-7. In Bakersfield and Allen Hancock, no score reported yet. That was slated for an 8 p.m. start time due to the heat, and I believe there was another fire in that area. So yet to be seen whether that game will be played today. 42 yards on the return. Deshaun Holmes with the big play for the Canyons. We have another whistle on the field. Are we still having issues with the play clock? No?
Nope.
We're having an issue with the offensive line.
I'll start.
So back them up 5. The Marauders will take it. 1st and 15. Flag on the field, an early flag. This is probably going to be lined up in the neutral zone. How many times have we seen that here tonight, Joe?
I lost count.
So give back the 5. Illegal motion? Nope. Offside yet again.
Yep.
Early fourth quarter, 13:49 to go, 28-24. COC on top of AVC, SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage, SCFA football, week 1. Game 1 of 3 on the docket here today. For SoCal College Sports. Brito and company for Canyons, looking to extend on their lead. And running into his own man.
Yeah, that was not a very good vision. That was a block.
Looked like Jalen Logan runs into Ethan Lazarick, and Lazarick is smarting.
He's hurt.
Did he get rolled up on?
Yeah.
Here comes the training staff.
That's too bad. He was He had a good block.
Yeah, I mean that's a play where it looked like, I want to say Cheyenne Bradford pushed back to Lazarick and pushed Lazarick into his own man. Well, if you can't get to him, use throw somebody at him. Isn't that the old adage, Coach? Athletic Director Tom Gang in the booth. We look forward to possibly making it a 3-man booth at some point during the season here, Joe.
With Tom?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Had him on for, we did the inter-squad scrimmage. Lazarick off under his own power. That's good to see. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It was a pretty nasty collision.
Yes, it was.
Logan was coming with a head of steam. Meanwhile, 2nd and 5. Logan split right to the right of Brito in the shotgun.
Usually throw out of this formation.
Trips right yet again. Whoa. Not a lot of
not
a lot of running tonight here. It is another throw, and Logan can't hang on. And even if he does hang on, I don't think that play is going anywhere. Very good reaction by the defense, well diagnosed. Keelan White into the ball game. 6'1", 200. Coach Iacenda says he might be the fastest guy on the team, and that's pretty impressive because we've seen some speed out of these wideouts. Brito throwing back to his left, has a man. That's a touchdown. Chalk up 6 for the Cougars.
That play has worked all night.
Deshaun, what's up, Holmes? Let's see the replay. Back it up just a little bit. That's just well designed.
Action away, throw it back, jailbreak screen. It just sets everything up.
That is easy money for the Cougars.
Oh, rough.
Uno mas. 35-24, and the lead swells to double digits for COC. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports.
H.W. Hunter Ram of the West, L.A. County's #1 Ram truck dealer. With an inventory as big as the wide open West. You can find Ram of the West at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Come test drive a new Ram truck today during the Ram Power Days.
(35-24). The lead now 11 for College of the Canyons. The 4th touchdown tonight for Andrew Brito. 14 of 30. Does have a pick in the books, but like we said earlier, that was in garbage time. An impressive showing here tonight for that young man.
Yes, he's been very impressive tonight.
Well, time ticking down in week 1 here for the Marauders. They're going to have to make something happen. 12:55 to go. There is a lot of time left. It's going to be a touchback. Well, Joe, at this point, what is Coach Jaleka telling his players?
First of all, he tells them to be smart and cut down on the penalties. And secondly, he tells them they've got plenty of time if they execute on offense and they find a way on defense to get a stop.
You know, one of the big points that Coach Jaleka, made in the conversation that we had earlier this week with him was, we don't look ahead to, the next game. And at this point, you can't really look ahead to the next drive and what might be. You have to take care of this play, this drive.
Exactly, and he is big on being in the moment and taking it one play at a time.
Eden tries to go sidearm there.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was a very strange-looking throw.
Well, I don't know if maybe he's trying to make an adjustment because the hands are up on the defensive line. He's trying to elude the active hands. But I think that rush is in the head of Armani Eden at this point. He's been very effective. COC showing blitz.
Yeah,
Eden steps
getting
up.
to him quickly.
And Eden turns the corner.
He has no time to even set up
No.
to throw the ball. That D-line is winning the battles
Well,
now.
Coach, I think Armani would be very well served to maybe employ a hard count here because the speed has been blinding here on the edges for COC. And how do you negate the speed a speedy rush? Use the hard count. Well, that's one of the factors in being a freshman, and learning on the job.
Exactly. And I agree with the hard count. That's not a bad idea.
That run going inside,
there's
and earlier in the game, it was a story of the run inside opening up the passes outside, and we just have not seen that.
Was not a good series for ABC.
It was not. And now you have to wonder about the gas tank for the defense. They need some stops.
Yes, they do.
And they've been on the field for quite a long time. We talked about how hot it's been. We talked about the smoke in the air. At what point does fatigue start to become a factor?
And
now it's not. Well,
and now we've got a bad. It wasn't a bad snap. He mishandled it, I think.
Got to be on the punter in that case. And the wheel's starting to fall off here for AVC here, Coach.
Seems like it.
COC will start this drive at the 20-yard line of the Marauders. I have to tell you, despite the wheels coming off here late in this ball game, you have to really be excited about some of the things you've seen tonight from ABC.
There are some things on their offense that
Brito looking for the jugular.
Oh, he just missed him.
And he just misses R.B. Marlowe in the back of the end zone.
Just missed him. There are some things on their offense that they should be pretty happy about. The execution of their offense this early in the season, first game of the season.
Armani looked really good early on, but that rush really started to find a groove.
Well, they knew coming in that COC has quality defensive linemen and that Donlin, what's his name?
Dorian Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald. They knew that he was going to be a force to be reckoned with, and he is. I mean, it took him a while, but he's doing it.
Brito keeps himself, has a blocker, buys him some time. Pass is complete on the far side. That is great recovery there. Good game tackling by the Marauders.
Yes, good help. They got to the ball.
Khalid Taylor, really no chance after he caught that football, and I think they're going to rule that he reestablished. I don't think they're going to give him forward progress. Nope. Because he had forward progress up beyond the 20.
On the first hit, though, but he bounced off. He wasn't, and the rest of the progress was his own momentum. So,
see, I never would have been able to explain it so eloquently. It would have just been guesswork for me. Well, it was 11 sacks for COC the last time these two teams matched up. Glenn Haller about to tell me the amount of sacks tonight so far. I want to say it's 4 for COC. A little bit lower. Timeout on the field. Timeout for the voices as Glenn works his magic.
Well, neither quarterback was sacked until the second half.
3.
Yes.
3 sacks tonight.
There hasn't been a whole lot. But he's been hurried. I mean, he's been flushed out of the pocket this whole half. This entire half, I should say.
Yeah. Well, you had to figure, with the talent on this defensive line for the Cougars, they were going to break through at some point. And Coach, this is not just, oh, hey, they have some nice players. This is one of the elite units in all of Southern California, maybe the state of California, up front. Really got to tip your hat to the job that the offensive line did early on. I think they won that battle, but I think as time wore on, the adjustments were made by the more talented players.
Yes.
Third down and long. Brito looking for the end zone.
Oh,
Breakdown in coverage. Touchdown number 5 for
goodness.
Andrew Brito.
The wheels are falling off. I would like to know how he got. I need to see that play again. I mean, it looked like there was coverage, but for some reason the corner let him go. Yes.
It was a double move.
Eyes in the wrong place.
He faked out. It was an out and up.
Yeah.
Beautifully executed. Brito on the money as usual. 5 touchdowns tonight. And he might be flirting with Offensive Player of the Week honors. Although Fullerton, I haven't checked the box score. 77 points on the board. That's pretty gaudy number too.
Fullerton sounds like they're good again.
Shocker there, I know. 42-24.
This is
And COC starting to make a name here earlier in the season.
yeah, just getting away from ABC.
It's week 1 of the SCFA docket. 42-24 COC on top of ABC. Game 1 of 3 today here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Tweet at us at SoCal College SPO. You can hit us up on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You can also visit our website for any archived copies of these games, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. All of these games archived to YouTube. So if you have a chance to watch the game, or you didn't have a chance to watch the game in its entirety, you can go back on. We did have some technical difficulties earlier in the stream because of the wireless connectivity in the broadcast booth, so we will try and get that game up for you, this game up for you on the YouTube site in its entirety. So Cougars get ready to kick it away. 10:20 rather remaining in this one. That last touchdown, Deshaun Holmes. No, Jaron Pierce. Jaron Pierce, the leading receiver tonight here for COC, has 5 catches for 90 and that last score.
Pretty good game for a receiver.
Not bad. Schussler with 2 touchdowns on 2 catches. That's efficiency. Deshaun Holmes, 4 catches for 56 yards. Marlowe only 1 catch, but with the touchdown, 1 for 12. Eden going deep, no one home.
No.
Sure, we got some updates on the scores here. Moore Park all tied up with L.A. Pierce. They're in the 3rd. Citrus now on top of Chaffee 20-17. Eden incomplete near side.
Threw it too far.
It's a pretty good effort there by Johnson to make the catch on that ball, but he was brought out of bounds by the throw. Palomar over Southwestern right now, 28-21. Southwestern was supposed to be a team of note in the American, so Palomar showing they might be a force in the South. Ed 3rd and long. Keep it himself, go up the middle, and go nowhere. It's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, how does that record? Does that record as a sack because he got back to the line of scrimmage? No, it does not.
It wasn't a loss.
So it's a gain of none.
Right.
But again, the rush a factor on that drive. And let's say Eden is hanging that left shoulder a little bit as he walks off the field. Did take a hit on that last play. .9:30 and counting in this one. And do we maybe see Michael McPeak next time out?
I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to bring him out there.
We saw McPeak in quarter number 1. He made a really good throw and a completion to John Johnson along the sideline.
Well, the original plan was to give him some playing time, but he hasn't. He's been in for what, 1 play?
I think he was in for maybe 2, maybe 3 plays, and he was very effective when he came out. But, Coach Jaleka made it very clear, can play the hot hand. And the hot hand early was Armani Ed. And that has cooled off somewhat due to the stellar defensive line play from COC.
Yeah.
.42-24, Cougars pouring it on here.
Well,
they scored 14 in the opening quarter. They've scored 14 here. There's 9:07 to go.
There's that bad
Another
snap again.
bad snap. So center issues continuing to plague COC. This game could be even more out of hand if you think about 2 really bad snaps for the Cougars. And if you're AVC, hey, you got to capitalize here.
Exactly. It's a big opportunity.
Probably going to be a pass play. And this is Darren Blackshear, new quarterback for COC.
Wow.
Blackshear with a good deep ball. In the words of Coach Iacenda, handoff inside. So go for about 4, maybe 3. Nelson James with the carry. So 3rd and 10 here for the Cougars. Blackshear, the lefty, throws far side, pass complete. Head of steam. It's going to fall short of the first down, but it's at midfield.
Got a lot of yardage back.
And is this 4th down territory here, Coach?
Yeah.
You're looking about 3rd and 6. Well, here comes the kicking unit. Spot on the field where you might see a fake. Maybe not in a 42-24 game.
I don't think with this lead they're going to fake it.
These coaches very respectful of each other,
Yes.
Especially in the conversations that we had leading up. I don't think you'd see something like that. I'm sure in your days you've seen some coaching rivalries that weren't as amicable.
In community college, yes.
We got a chuckle out of Glenn Haller.
Did something here. They moved this. Did they move the sticks? They weren't supposed to. Yeah, they did.
Well, hey, it's week 1. The chain
They're-
gang out
yeah,
there,
they're-
and we've had our technical difficulties. So it was a chain gang out there. The clock crew, the refs, I think have been pretty good tonight.
It's been a good officiating for the most part.
Punting unit, another low
Bounce the
snap.
Nice
That's on
kick.
the long snapper this time, and a fair catch where? At the 1-inch line?
Did he catch that? Really?
That's pretty unfortunate.
Seen that. I've never seen that.
Fair catch at the 1-yard line. Well, hey, you know what? Sometimes you just get caught up in the moment, and sometimes when you get caught up in the moment, you make bad decisions. And obviously, one he would have liked to let go through the back of the end zone.
Oh.
And Dorian Gerald licking his chops as we speak, and I
I-
believe that is McPeak at quarterback.
Yes, you're right. I think so.
McPeak, they do pick up a block, and that one batted down. It's a really good job picking up Dorian Gerald, who was looking to come with a head of steam. It's a really tough spot here for a quarterback that
Yeah,
has not played.
Thanks a lot. Bring me in now.
Bring me in on the 1-inch line. Pass incomplete, and obviously the timing just a little off here. Pass intended for Jordan Wayne. Wayne having a night, 6 catches for 50 yards and a couple touchdowns. It was expected that this receiving core would be a bit of a driving force this season for Antelope Valley. I think they've come to play tonight.
They've had a good night. The problem has been protecting the quarterback.
Yeah. McPeak rolling to his right. Takes what the defense gives him. Has a pass complete. This might be a first down.
It is.
It's Verrett.
Outside the 10.
That's a really good job after the catch by Verrett.
Or it's close.
Verrett. So Verrett picks up a first down. It's a new set.
I'm not sure.
It's a new set.
Are they moving the chains? There they go.
Well, anything past the 10-yard
Well,
line.
this
I mean, even if it was on the 10-yard line, it might have been a first down. 6:18 and counting here. 42-24. 14 unanswered here in the fourth quarter for the Cougars. Good, solid run up the middle.
And that's the other plus. The running backs have run well, and they run hard.
Brandon Edwards up the middle. Gain of 8. Up to the 20. McPeak rolling to his left. A little bit of time. That one dropped on the far side. Now I want to say that was Jordan Wayne.
It's a good throw.
Trying to run without the ball.
Yes, he was.
Want to run without the ball. Sign up for track. McPeak, similar play. Trying to evade a rush, does a pretty good job, keeps it alive, going to pick up the first and a little bit more up the sideline. Did he step out of bounds? I think he did. Oh, just barely.
He did.
Oh, McPeak, not known as a dual threat quarterback, but making the best out of that play. We see him roll out. He was nearly sacked, and he tucks it and runs. Gets a block on the outside. Maybe he got a bit away with a little bit of a hold, but hey, ABC's going to take it. It's a nice game. To the 40-yard line, a 21-yard gain. McPeak to his left. Not a lot of time there, and Jordan Wayne, second drop on this drive. McPeak has 2 solid throws to Wayne, but the rapport not there yet.
Excellent job getting that ball out to the receiver. Excellent. You got to catch that.
Back to live action. Second and 10.
Like 10.
McPeak flings it out. The pass is complete. Verrett gets pummeled after a gain of 1, and Verrett's still down. COC was pretty animated after that play.
It's a big hit.
Oof. He gets absolutely leveled.
It's a big hit that usually gets guys going, but yeah.
Bared up and hobbling.
Yes.
Let's hope he's okay. Likely done for the night. Third and 8, third and a short 9. McPeak might think twice about doing that again. Back to pass, has some time. John Johnson down the sideline, big play. Still on his feet inside the 5. John Johnson, big gainer.
Very good throw and catch.
Let's see that one again.
McPeak is pretty impressive. And stood tall and delivered this ball very well, right there.
Just on the money. He puts it exactly, he hits the runner in stride. Johnson does a great job of catching up to it. And ABC in business. That one incomplete, and that'll stop the clock. Going back to Johnson. Well, Johnson now with 5 catches for 86 yards on the evening. That's 2 big ones from McPeak. $53-yard reception from Johnson on that big gainer from McPeak. We're looking for the fade, and that's going to be a hold.
Or holding.
You know, holding or interference. Coach, I don't know if that ball was catchable. I mean,
That
it was like
holding.
It's going to be a fresh set of downs here.
Yes.
First and goal for ABC. You'll take it at this point. 3:55 to go. Well, at this point, it's an opportunity if you score here for to work on special teams.
Keep working. Keep executing.
I mean, how often do you work on onside kicks in practice? Probably fairly often. Your special team packages.
Well, we worked on them every day.
Really?
We work special teams every day and onside kick every day.
McPeak keeps it.
Nice
That one batted
defense.
down. Flag on the field. This is going to be a hold likely. McPeak absolutely got leveled. See it again as they discuss what the flag's going to be about here. He doesn't see it coming. And he gets driven into the ground. I think that's going to be a hold here, Coach.
I think so, too. They're waving it off.
Going to wave off the flag. They say that the pass was tipped.
So they were going to call it pass interference. And the only way that a tipped pass.
Right, the pass is tipped, then it's not
then
interfered with.
Interference, but if it was holding, it was holding. Didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered.
Handoff inside,
No,
and
no.
getting stuffed is
No.
Edwards.
No.
You know, play like that. You ever seen the movie Friday?
No.
There's a point in the movie where somebody's dad, you know, somebody says challenges him to a fight, and the dad says no. And the way he says it in the movie, it's very comical, and it was very applicable to that last play here. And this defensive unit has really tightened up front for COC.
They have. They made a good adjustment, and I think it was just an adjustment in their energy. I mean, they're controlling the line of scrimmage completely in the second half.
Well, yeah,
And pressuring the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it all stems to effort.
Yeah.
I don't think they had it in the first half. We saw Dorian Gerald come off for a few plays, and then, you know, he stepped up and he said, well, you know, maybe I need to get back in the mix. Came back, and he's been an absolute beast here in the second half. Fade to the corner.
Too far.
And there's a flag.
Grabbed him.
I mean, at this point, I don't think the defensive backs know how to cover a fade without committing a penalty. Just keep on throwing fades and see what you come up with. And that was 4th down.
Yes, it was.
So here's a fresh set of downs here for Mike McPeak. 2:26 to go in this one. This one likely in the books, but I have seen some crazy things in my day. Be one heck of a story. Edwards staying on his feet. Forward progress is stopped at the 3.
They need to throw it because they're not moving the ball on the ground and the clock's still going.
Well, I don't want to call it a controversy, but I think McPeak has shown very well here tonight. I think Eden got the bigger volume, and I think he was better for a longer stretch.
It would have been interesting to see McPeak in what he would do with more snaps. I mean, he looks good. He's executing the offense.
A couple of really good plays. Bubble screen. It gets there. It's a touchdown.
He did it.
And on the far side, little talking to. It's Paris Jones. Jones talking a little junk on the far side. He was talking as he was running in.
Was he really?
Look, he catches it here, and then he turns back, and he's talking to the player that missed the ball. So Paris Jones into the end zone for 6. Cuts the lead to 12. Extra point yet to come.
You shouldn't have much to say when you're behind.
Yeah, I got a feeling that might be a point of emphasis during film this week here, Coach. What do you think?
I think it will be.
You like the fire. But what's the old saying, when in Rome?
Exactly. Are they going for 2 here?
Yeah, you sent them back out. Oh, well, why not? I think you've solidified that the field goal unit knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Work on your 2-point play.
Against a pretty good team. Well, in terms of situations, there's 1:31 left to go. You cut it to a 10-point lead with a 2-point conversion.
2 possessions, 2 scores. That's
but it's a field goal and a touchdown
right.
versus a field goal with a touchdown and 2 points. You're gonna have to get 2 points at some point. McPeak throws it, and Jones just out of his reach. Not talking this time. But Paris gets in for 6, cuts the lead down to 12, 42-30.
Time to work on the onside kick.
Well, it's been a fun game here, Joe.
It has been.
Looks like COC is going to make it 9 in a row.
That's what it looks like.
I think the Marauders have really shown their grit here late. I think Mike McPeak has made a name for himself. He didn't win the starting job coming into the first game, but only got a very little bit of run in the first half. And Armani Eden was pretty good for a little while.
He was, but I think McPeak shows that he deserves a shot. I mean, he deserves some.
Yeah, he's definitely earned some more reps in practice
time
this week, and possibly some more practice time next week at it's going to be at San Diego Mesa. You want to talk about a dominating performance, 36-7 over Grossmont in the crossover game.
Score. That's a surprising score.
I mean, it's a surprising score to the point where I want to call an SID and verify the score. I've seen some scores misreported before.
Yes, it's happened before.
here comes the onside, you would presume. Or not. Yep. Good bounce. And the hands team comes through for COC.
Yes, they did.
Jarobi Muzian III. So that should close the door on the rest of the ballgame, or do they have to pick up one more first down? I don't know if ABC has any more timeouts. At this point, do you stop the clock?
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't.
I mean, from a competitive standpoint, I understand
I
not
know,
wanting to
yeah,
give up
I
the
know.
the victory formation.
Yeah, there are coaches that I've coached with and played for that would say, yeah, stop it. You know, keep playing, keep trying to score.
Flag on the field.
Might be holding.
Well, Coach, a quote that was mentioned by me earlier in the week in talking with the coaches from Mike Tyson, the famous one, you always have a game plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, both teams didn't start hitting each other in the mouth until the second half.
Exactly.
But in the second half, that's when COC started to get the better of it, and the game plan kind of went out the window, and ABC just really couldn't keep up. And, you know, credit Andrew Brito with the night. 16 of 33. You know, he's under 50% in terms of his completion percentage, but he's got 243 yards and 5 touchdowns, and a couple of those throws were on the money, under duress, and on the move.
It seemed like he completed more than that. That's the kind of game he had. He was very efficient.
Yeah. Actually, you're going to keep it. That's a big hit up front. Running back taking one for the team.
See, Perry's going to use his timeout.
Adrian Morris gets lit up after about a 5-6 yard gain here. That's going to bring up 3rd and long 4 when we come back. Back in a moment. So Coach Jaleka elects to go with the timeout. He's going to play it to the gritty end, and it's been a gritty performance here from the Marauders. It's going to be an offsides.
It's kind of been the story of the night. If that is offsides, that gives them a first down.
I believe that was the initial indication from the side judge. So encroachment, automatic first, I believe.
Enough for a first. High snap. Good job by the quarterback.
Blackshear going to take it out of bounds.
Which he shouldn't do.
As the clock winds down. Hey, maybe he just wants to.
He wants to play.
Pad, he wants to pad his stats. Hey, you want to call timeouts? I'll go ahead and run it out of bounds. I want to get. get up in the stat sheet.
He wants to play some more.
Nothing wrong with that. To final, ELAC with a win over Orange Coast 31-22. So the Huskies 1-0 with a win over a National Conference team. Under a minute to play in this one. National is going to get the better in this one. No coverage for us next week as of yet. Still in the works for that. Following week, 9/16, 2 weeks from today, we will have College of the Canyons.
Ooh, that's a big one. Fullerton.
Indeed. Yeah, that's against the defending state champs.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the Long Beach City game week after that. Hand off up the middle. Well, Fullerton, a team that put up 77 today versus Santa Ana. You have to figure COC and the Cougars are going to be fired up for that one to really test where they're at as a team. Next week they take on Orange Coast. That's at Costa Mesa. That should do it for the ball game. It's a final 42-30, and the Cougars on top of Antelope Valley. Back in a moment. Short recap and some thank yous here on SoCal College Sports. Stay tuned. It's a wrap, 42-30. ABC falls to the Cougars from College of the Canyons. Mike Cepeda, Joe Watts with you. And Joe, a very exciting first half, 21 all at the end of two, but really COC really started to cement themselves as the better team as we came out in the third quarter.
It literally looked like COC wore AVC down in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, the first half was a very evenly matched half. Both teams were unable to stop each other on offense, but the second half it just looked like COC's defense dominated.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough sledding out of the gate here for Antelope Valley. Next week they go to at Mesa with big win over Grossmont. Grossmont was in the mix last year in the National Conference, and they get thumped by San Diego Mesa. We have some final stats here for you. Again, special thanks to Glenn Haller, SID and statistician here tonight for the broadcast and the game. But really, if you think about these first three games for Antelope Valley against Canyons, Canyons is a team that might make some noise here in the National North. And then you're at San Diego Mesa. They made some noise tonight. And then at ELAC, and ELAC is a team that's really up and coming, very impressive last year, and a win over Orange Coast tonight. So recap some of the stats here for you. Andrew Brito, we talked about the night that he had 16 of 33, does have an INT, but 5 touchdowns and 243 yards, an impressive showing. And, Coach, what can you say?
I thought, 16 of 33 doesn't even sound right to me because the way he threw the ball, the passes he completed were efficient or big plays. I thought he had an excellent game to start off the season. This is a good night for him.
Maybe the complete. You know what? Here's what we did. In our minds, the completions were so impressive. We gave him credit for 2 completions for every one.
Yes.
On the other side, our Armani Eden showed very well as well. 14 of 23, a more efficient, better completion percentage, 119 yards, 3 touchdowns. But he did fade as that defensive unit did start to get a little bit more pressure. And I think that's a product of maybe being a little youthful. He is a freshman. Both are freshmen. Michael McPeak came in 4 of 10, 68 yards, but he did have that touchdown to Paris Jones. But he played very, very well. I think this is going to be a quarterback situation where you're going to see a lot of run for both guys.
This is what Coach Jaleka, thought coming into coming out of camp and into this first game, that they were going to be very good at quarterback and they were going to have quality receivers. And I think that's the case, because I think that was the big plus for them tonight. Now, their running backs did run well in the first half, but once COC made the adjustment, they put it into that. But I think they've got a lot to look forward to. Their offense has some potential. Defensively, they got to work on some things. There were some busted coverages that were
unforgivable.
You can't have that at all. I mean, their receivers wide open.
Busted coverages, and then sometimes no pressure on the quarterback can have that, especially with the speed that Coach Jaleka has to work with on that defensive front himself. And then, we talked about in the first half, and you look at the final tally, 15 penalties for 94 yards going against ABC.
There's the glaring mistake. I mean, that's the worst thing that happened tonight was the number of penalties and the types of penalties.
Yeah.
A lot of personal foul penalties.
The situational penalties.
And yes, situational that gave them first downs when they should be going off the field. And coach is going to have a lot to say about that, because that's the kind of thing that a good team can't do and win consistently.
I think all in all, I think more good to take away than the bad if you're AVC. And like we said, it's going to be a little bit of a gauntlet coming out of the gate. But you can get one of these next two. I think you're in pretty good shape for the rest of the season.
Well, this non-conference schedule, I guess it is. This will get them ready for the conference.
Yeah.
This will get them ready for if they can survive this and come away with a win or two, then they'll be ready to play in their conference.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for our coverage. Thank you for watching, everybody. Again, special thanks to Joe Watch, Glenn Haller, excuse me. The Tom Gang Athletic Director, Perry Jaleka, allowing us to do our job and bring you coverage of all the home games this season here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. For Jorge Cepeda, again, Joe Watts, I'm Mike Cepeda signing off. We'll see you in 2 weeks here on SoCal College Sports. Take care.